Hey everybody, I think as you know, I recently had some issues at my job. Um, and I was very grateful that they gave me a second chance and my boss let me back and I felt like things were going really good. I was doing my best to oh my god. Um I was doing my best to make improvements in my work. I was trying to make everybody happy. I was trying to make my boss proud of me. I was doing everything that I thought I should be doing as like a good employee. And out of just like nowhere, my boss like started lying about me and lying to people and telling my colleagues and coworkers that I was a bad person and I was sending the wrong people the wrong way and she blocked me. Like whose boss blocks them on social media, but she blocked me. My boss blocked me. And I don't I can't keep doing this. I can't. I can't. Alright, so let me tell you what happened, okay? I got some part-time work covering Life Plus Cindy. I was covering her on my channel. I tried to do a side hustle here and there. I know like my heart is with the Amberlynn Reed Reaction Factory, but it's hard. So I gotta make sure I can, have a side hustle. I got 2 dogs I have to feed, keep a roof over their head. And so I just said, listen, I'm gonna start getting some work at the Life Plus Cindy Reaction Factory too. Cause and nowhere in my contract does it say I can't pick up extra work outside of my job. Okay. And my boss, Amberlynn, posted on her Instagram story, somebody had asked her thoughts about Life Plus Cindy deleting her channel. And this is what Amberlynn had to say. It breaks my heart. She never had this many issues on YouTube until Zachary Michael made videos about her. She talked about it in a live stream. The wrong people started watching her and it just makes me sad. There's a person behind that screen with feelings and people seem to forget about that. And let me tell you what, besties, I was so annoyed when I saw her post this because, I've gone back and forth with people when it comes to Cindy and people thinking that I sent all these haters and stuff to her channel. And, to some extent, I think that particular part of Amberlynn's initial message is subjective because there's lots of people who feel similarly that I sent the wrong people, whatever that means, her way. And I would actually like to argue that, especially after this most recent, if you haven't watched anything about Life Plus Cindy, I'll see if I can't put together some kind of playlist so you can see all the stuff about Life Plus Cindy that I've covered. But I haven't actually talked at all yet about her just full on deleting her channel and everything. But it came on the heels of a video that I just recently reacted to her where she literally drove 14 hours overnight on very little sleep to go get a booty call with her ex, okay? And so many people in the comments of that video that you can no longer read are talking about how they're longtime viewers of Cindy and they're very concerned and disappointed in her behavior and disappointed that she would do all of that, this, that, whatever. So I don't really think her deleting her channel this time or the last time has anything to do with me. But there is one part of what Amberlynn says here, the part where she says that Cindy talked about me bringing bad energy into her channel on a live stream. That part is just factually wrong. You can prove that it is wrong. And so I'm not one to typically tag people in anything. If I'm talking about Amberlynn or Chantal or Cindy or the Slaytons. Well, sometimes the Slaytons don't apply to this because I will sometimes tag them if I have a new video because they used to share my posts all the time, although they don't do it as much anymore. But, you know, I very rarely tag people in my stories or on Twitter or anything like that, just because, like, I don't think that they should have to be subjected to whatever I have to say about them if they don't want to be subjected to it, you know? But since Amberlynn was blatantly lying about me in this situation, I opted to post on Instagram just to, like, show her very clearly where the evidence was that I was not to blame, at least according to Cindy, because Cindy never said or blamed me for anything in a live stream. So I did share that post and I said, I never usually tag Amberlynn, but here we are doing it today. Say what you want about your opinion about me as a person and an individual, but don't lie about something that can be proven false. And then I proceeded to show her this video clip where it's like taken from my video because obviously Cindy's actual video is no longer there. Her actual live stream is no longer there because she wiped her channel. So I had included this clip in one of my videos, and I'll just let you watch it now. With that being said, even Cindy's own subscribers, some of y'all that have found your way to my channel, lack the ability to listen to her and what she says and the things that come out of her own mouth, which I don't fault Cindy for. But Cindy herself in a live stream said she did not blame me for anything that was happening to her on the internet.
I'm not blaming Zachary Michael for this, no. It's definitely not his fault. It's my fault. I mean, ultimately, everything that happened is my own fault.
So Amberlynn did look at the posts I made, the video I made, everything that I tagged her in, and she did reach out to me in the DMs. And she said, and try to follow along here because it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. She said, for someone who hates when I address every little thing, you sure do the same thing a lot. You'd never be able to stay on this platform if you only got the kind of hate I did on an hourly basis. LOL, I think it's time you start taking your own advice. To which my response was, bestie, you lied. I'm just pointing it out. So if you want to correct yourself, great. If not, great. Regardless, the proof is right there. Cindy never said anything in a live stream about me bringing haters to her channel. It's well documented that many of the people who are upset with her behavior have been long-term viewers who've been around before I ever was. And I also noted on my Instagram story, I'm back on the block list because she blocked me. She blocked me after this. I guess for asking for her not to lie on her Instagram story about me, totally her prerogative, which I do want to say she's welcome to block anybody. I think the blocking tool, if you need to use it for your peace, mental health, whatever, go for it. It's totally her prerogative, but I feel like all my feedback was reasonable considering how easy it was to prove that she was being dishonest, because the reality is I just wanted her to say, hey, I mean, she didn't have to say anything, but I just want to be like, let's be clear, Cindy never said that. You're just blatantly lying about it. It is what it is. Which is interesting because, you know, I haven't necessarily talked every single time Amberlynn's ever slid into my DMs, getting angry at me for something I posted or telling me I need to do something or this, that, the other. Although I have talked about it many different times on the YouTube and my Twitch streams, whoever, whatever. And it's just interesting to me that she's very chill, reaching out to me and or other reaction channels, trying to tell us how we should, you know, say the things she wants us to say, correct ourselves if she thinks that we said something inappropriate or that we shouldn't have. But the second that I tag her and say, hey bestie, hey boss, why are you lying? Why are you straight up lying when there's easy facts that can be shown, receipts that can be shown that show you're not being honest about this situation? And that results in me being blocked. And it's interesting because, you know, her justification in the past for blocking people on Instagram is, you know, if people are bullying her, she can tell they're mean-spirited or things like that. But, like, I think you saw the 2 posts I tagged her in. I don't think anything about that was mean-spirited. It very strictly was just like, hey, you lied about this, here's the proof. So after I was blocked, which by the way, in the past when I was blocked by Amber Lynn on Instagram, I could still go and view her stories as Judy's account or even Poe's account if I really needed to, because both of my dogs have their own Instagram pages. I don't post on there often, but if you want to go follow them, you're welcome to do it. Anyways, I used to go and do that as my backup, and there's now apparently a new Instagram feature where you can just block all accounts associated with the account you're blocking. And so, as it turns out, I am no longer able to view her page from any of the accounts that I have on my Instagram, which is okay because I have other ways of seeing what old Amber Lynn's been up to over there. But just as a note, she was thorough and she's got me blocked everywhere. But because I do have other ways of seeing the things that she's posting there, I did see and find out that after the fact, somebody said, are you going to acknowledge that you were wrong about Zachary, Michael, and Cindy? Because as I pointed out on my Instagram stories, she was wrong. And Amber Lynn says, and she couldn't say this to me for whatever reason, couldn't just respond back to me and be like, you know what, I got it wrong, I'm sorry, I'll correct myself, but could say this on her Instagram story after she already blocked me. She said, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. I misheard. My opinion still stands. My heart goes out to Cindy. I just want her happy. And I, like most people, think was pretty confused when it said my opinion still stands, when she's like acknowledging that she was wrong about something. But I do think that her opinion here refers to thinking that I sent all of these like haters or whatever Cindy's way. I think she's just acknowledging that like she didn't actually hear Cindy blame me for it, but the other parts of her opinion about the situation still stands. Which, like I said, even when I started talking about this to begin with, I've gone back and forth with people about whether or not they think that I sent all these haters or whatever to Cindy. I don't think that's what I did, and like I said, Cindy never blamed me, and I actually, after her most recent deletion of her channel, had people comment on the video I made about her saying like, oh, like I initially thought you were a hater, I didn't give your content a chance, but now I'm seeing that you really do enjoy Cindy, you like her, and that you're just like in general casually talking about it. It's like not a hateful vibe over here at all. And so I don't know. I mean, that's just one person. Obviously, there are many different people who watch my content, watch Cindy's content, have all kinds of opinions. So I do think those things are still objective and she can have whatever opinion she wants. But I wish she could have just acknowledged to begin with that she was lying. And she didn't have to block me to do all of that. And I have to say, somebody also reached out to her and said, why did you block Zachary Michael? No hate, just wondering what happened with you two. And she said, I block anyone with ill intentions. Bestie, what are my ill intentions here? What are they? What ill intentions outside of just wanting you to be honest about what happened with me? Tell me that. And why now all of a sudden, too, by the way, after you've been in my DMs many times accusing me of having ill intentions about other things, it's me pointing out that you're a liar? It's me pointing out that you lied about something that is the ill intent that gets me blocked. Again, block me if you want, but like, your logic ain't making any sense here. Somebody also followed up about the like, your opinion still stands things. They said, what do you mean your opinion still? You were wrong. And she said, I was wrong in what I heard during the live stream. I can still have an opinion. Now, I do wonder what that opinion is based on. If it was originally based on her idea in her head that Cindy blamed me for all of this. Like, I still am curious where this opinion comes from outside of just her preconceived notions about me and the content I make. But I'm curious where it comes from. But again, welcome to have whatever opinion she wants to have about me. She also answered a question that says, do you still like Alex is Shook? I still watch his videos, but only the ones about Chantal. And she said, no, I'm absolutely done with reaction channels. They're all the same. Which I will say is one interesting because I did look, like prior to getting blocked, I was looking through who she follows on Instagram because I was curious if she did follow me or not. And she didn't follow me, but she did at that time at least follow Alex is Shook on Instagram still. And this was like literally like a day or two before she answered this question about Alex on Instagram. But I also wanted to come back to this Instagram story because I wanted to go back to the things she said in DMs to me about this lying and stuff. Because if you recall, she said, for someone who hates when I address every little thing, you sure do the same thing a lot. Which I think is interesting because unless you're watching my videos, outside of watching my videos, the only time I've ever addressed something regarding, I don't know, I guess this situation or any situation or somebody not agreeing with me or things like that is in this Instagram post. And if you heard what I said there, she made it sound like I've been doing this a lot, which I will say, to be fair, in the past like 2 to 3 weeks to a month, I do feel like I've been addressing a lot of things, which I don't know, maybe in your opinion might be a little hypocritical, although I think I approach things with a lot of nuance in terms of like what I choose to respond to and what I don't. Like I responded to a lot of things that I thought was like fair feedback or critique from people in my audience. I haven't been responding to people calling me the F slur or saying other rude things like that because that stuff isn't worth my time or worth addressing on my channel, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I've always tried to suggest to Amberlynn, is that like she use some nuance in deciding what to address and like trying to figure out who is giving good feedback because they actually do care about her and who's just giving feedback to be mean-spirited or a troll or whoever, whatever. So anyways, her suggesting that I've been doing it a lot lately was making me think like, well, the only other place besides this one Instagram post I've been doing this in is in my videos. And so now you have this Instagram story up saying you don't watch any reaction channels anymore and you're completely done with it, but then seem to know that lately I've been addressing a lot of concerns and feedback that people have for me. I don't know, y'all. Besties, it's just not adding up for me. It's not. And it's not adding up for me that she does still follow Alex is Shook on Instagram. Like, girly, I wish, honestly, truly, like, watch them or don't, watch us or don't, watch Alex, me, Jordy, whoever, whatever, or don't. But, like, just don't talk about it, or just don't act stupid when, like, you're also out here in videos referencing things I've said, referencing things that other YouTuber reaction channels have been saying. Like, let's just not play dumb, okay? If you were gonna be my boss, if you're gonna be my boss, don't play dumb. And don't block me! How am I supposed to be productive at work if you're out here blocking me on Instagram, okay? I put in a lot of hard work and time into my job at the Amberlynn Reed Reaction Factory, and this is how you repay me. This is how. This is where we're at. I wasn't expecting to be here in this situation like this, you know? Like, this isn't what I was trying to do today. So I'm gonna pick myself back up. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna pay attention, and we're gonna get to work. And I know one day you'll unblock me again. I just gotta find the strength to keep going, you know? Oh, God. It never gets easier. It never does. Fuck. I gotta go. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure, if you are new here, that you subscribe and click the bell button so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much. I'll see you all next time. Bye!